Chapter 8 of The Shield. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. The Shield, edited by Leonid Andreev. Translated by Avram Yarmolinsky. Chapter 8. The Jewish Question as a Russian Question. By Dmitry Merezhkovsky. Russia alone should be our deepest concern at present. The destiny of the numerous races and nationalities that go to make Russia is the destiny of the Russian Empire itself. One would ascertain the attitude of these nationalities by asking them, "Are you with Russia, or is it your desire to exist apart from her? If you desire to exist apart from her, why then do you appeal to us for help? If with us, let us then, in this time of terror, disdain to consider our personal fortunes and let our thoughts be with Russia and with her alone. For without her your existence is inconceivable, her rise is your rise, and her fall is your fall." We would like very much to say that there is no such thing as the Jewish, Polish, Ukrainian, Armenian, Georgian question, that there is only one question, the Russian. Yes, we would like to, but we cannot. The Russian people have yet to earn the right to say that, and therein lies their tragedy. The moment Russian idealism ventures to tackle any of those complicated national home problems, it becomes weak, impotent, and therefore irresponsible. The Jewish question is a striking illustration of what we have just said. What do we owe the Jews? Indignation? Or the admission that anti-Semitism is abominable? But we admitted that a long time ago, and our indignation runs so high and is so clearly outspoken that it is beyond one's power even to speak calmly of it. The only thing we can do is to join our voice to that of the Jews. And we do. But outcries, loud as they may be, are not sufficient, and it is the consciousness of the fact that the outcries are insufficient and that at the present moment we possess no other weapons with which to fight the evil that wearies and harrows us. What misery, pain, and shame! But in spite of the pain and the shame, we cry out and reiterate and declare to the people around us, who are ignorant of the table of multiplication, that 2 and 2 make 4, that the Jews are human beings like us, that they are neither enemies nor traitors to their country, that they are as good citizens as we are, that they love Russia no less than we do, and that anti-Semitism is a disgraceful stigma upon Russia's face. But apart from our righteous indignation, may we not be allowed calmly to utter one thought that occurs to us at this moment? Judophilism and Judophobia are closely related. A blind denial of a nationality engenders an equally blind affirmation of it. An absolute nay naturally brings forth an absolute yea. Whom do we call a Judophile in Russia at the present time? Presumably it is he or she who loves the Jews with a singular love, who finds in them greater values than in any other nationality. In the eyes of the so-called true Russians, we the intellectuals are such Judophiles. "Why worry over the Jews all the time?" the Russian nationalists say to us. Now, how on earth can we stop worrying over the Jews, and, for that matter, over the Poles, Armenians, Ukrainians, Georgians, and so forth? When in our presence someone is being outraged, we cannot merely pass on. It is not humane. We must help him who is being assailed. At least, we ought to join our voice with his in crying out for help. This is precisely what we have been doing, and woe to us if we cease to do it, cease to be human beings in order to become Russians. A forest of national problems has grown around us, and the sounds of the Russian language are being drowned by the voices of all the numerous people that inhabit Russia. It is inevitable and just. We are not well, but with them it is still worse. We have great pain, but theirs is greater. We must forget ourselves for their sake. That is why we say to the nationalists, cease oppressing the non-Russian element of our empire, so that we may have the right to be Russians, and that we may with dignity show our national face as that of a human being, not that of a beast. Cease to be Judophobes, so that we may cease to be Judophiles. Here is an instance taken at random. The Jewish question has a religious as well as a national aspect. Between Judaism and Christianity, as between two poles, there are strong attractions and equally strong repulsions. Judaism gave birth to Christianity. The New Testament issued from the Old Testament. Paul the Apostle, who more than any one else fought Judaism, wrote, "For I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh." But whereas we may speak of attractions, it is not well for us to speak of repulsions. Indeed, how can we quarrel with him who has no voice? The disabilities of the Jews seal our lips. We must not separate Christianity from Judaism, for it means, as one Jew put it, the establishment of another, spiritual, Pale of Settlement. Let us do away with the physical Pale, then we will be able to discuss the spiritual one. Until then, all our protestations and declarations of righteousness will only prove to the Jews our insincerity. Why has the Jewish question become so keen in time of war? For the same reason that the rest of the national problems have made themselves felt. We have called the present struggle a war of liberation. We entered the war with the avowed purpose of liberating those who are situated at a distance from us. While liberating distant strangers, why then do we oppress those who live close by our side? We wage war against tyranny outside of Russia, and we allow oppression to reign within her. We pity everybody but the Jews. Why? Are they not dying on the battlefields for our sake? Do they not love us, who hate them? Do we not hate them who love us? If we continue to act as we have done in the past, would not everybody lose faith in us, and would not the nations of the earth be justified in saying to us, "You can love only from afar, you are liars"? We believed our righteousness to be our strongest weapon. We wanted to conquer brute force by the truth. If we persist in this desire, let us not lie. Let us not weaken our truth by falsehood. The Teutons say, "We fight to be the rulers of the world," and they act accordingly. We say, "We fight for universal peace, for the emancipation of the world," but we do not act accordingly. Let us begin, then, with the liberation of the Jews at home. Let the oppressed nations in our land bear in mind, however, that only a free Russian people will be able to give them freedom. Let the Jews remember that the Jewish question is a Russian question. Note: Dmitry Sergeyevich Merezhkovsky occupies an important place in modern Russian letters and religious philosophy. He is responsible for several books of poems and for a series of ponderous historical novels. He is also the author of numerous critical studies distinguished by an original method and an extraordinary brilliancy. He was born in 1866. End of chapter 8.